Ravens are the biggest winners in the AFC North this offseason.
This is a team that consistently is going to be in position to contend because of how talented they are. The reality of it is those guys can play.
The AFC should watch out for the Baltimore Ravens this season.
Players in the NFL, certainly one of the best players at quarterback. They got a guy at tailback in J.K. Dobbins, who I think could be an all-pro. They got one of the best tight ends in football, a plethora of perimeter weapons, some health on the offensive line, a very good defensive line, one of the better young linebackers in the NFL, and a top 5 secondary. And no one talks about it.
Yo, what it is? Welcome back to another episode of At the Bank, a Baltimore Ravens podcast, dogs. Yo, I'm glad y'all are tuned in with me on this beautiful Saturday morning, the day before our beloved Ravens go ahead and face the Chargers for the AFC on NBC for the number one spot at AFC, you feel me? And we got them on another primetime game, you feel me? And you know how the Ravens get on primetime football, Doug. So before I even get there, you know what I mean? Let's talk about we are number one in the AFC real quick, man. Let me tell y'all why it's a good thing that we are number one. Technically, we are tied for number one spot at the AFC because the Miami Dolphins did beat the Jets yesterday, and their AFC record just a tad bit better than ours. So we are sharing that number one spot. And if the playoffs would start right now, that the Miami Dolphins will have that slight edge over us. But for right now, it's still a tie for the number one spot. I feel like the Ravens are the number one team in the AFC. And let me tell you exactly why I feel like that we're going to capture this number one spot at the right time. Because number one, we got the Los Angeles Chargers coming up this week, man. And I feel like that this is another week that the Ravens can get another dub and capture that number one spot, you feel me? Because number one, like I said, I'm going to give you my predictions and why I feel like that we will get this dub. And my prediction of this game will be the Ravens come out on top 31-17. And this, I feel like the reason why, number one, the Ravens will win this and will get 31 points because out of 11 games this year, 7 to 8 of those games, the Ravens have scored 30-plus points. That's number one. Number two, the Chargers are not really a threat this year, you feel me? Now, don't get me wrong. Hear me out. The Chargers is not a team that you want to sleep on because the teams that we normally sleep on is always the teams that we lose to. A lot of Colts, a lot of Browns, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, you feel me? Those games that I felt like that we should have won, should have gotten the bag, and we overlooked those games. But this is the game that I feel like we should not overlook because the Chargers are better than with their record. Honestly, they got good key players. They got a strong arm quarterback and Justin Herbert. They have a decent running back in Austin Ekeler. They have a good wide receiver core and Keenan Allen, who I believe is still a threat. And they got Quentin Williams, who's a rookie who's up and coming. You feel me? So on the offensive side, the Chargers has what it takes to beat us. You know what I mean? They got the tools, they got the weapons. On the defense side, we already know they got Khalil Mack, they got Derwin James, you know what I mean, to hold down that defensive side. So it's not like the Chargers have scrubs or is a team that we feel like that we can just walk all over. You know what I mean? Because number one, another point to point out is that the Ravens is missing our top guy. We are missing our top guy, man. And don't get me wrong, Mark Andrews will be heavily missed. But I got a little fun fact for y'all just in a second to tell y'all why I feel like missing Mark Andrews will not be a totally big impact on the Ravens, you feel me? But like I said, man, and I feel like the Chargers really has nothing to really fight for. You know what I mean? There's slim playoff chances. I mean, the playoff chances are very slim. You know, right now they are sitting at the 13th spot. But any given Sunday, we already know this. This is always a factor when it comes to Sundays. You know, coming to in any week of football, that any given Sunday, anything can happen. Any team can really show up, and the most important thing, the wrong team won't show up. You feel me? And if that's the case, man, we got to keep our fingers crossed because, one thing that LJ keeps saying, and when people keep asking him, what would it take for the Ravens to become a top tier team, a team that people really believe in, is consistency. If we could consistently show people that our offense can consistently throw up 30-something points a game, I don't think nobody, and I do mean nobody, can handle the Ravens. You feel me? So let me go ahead and give y'all some of the reasons why I feel like the Ravens will win this upcoming Sunday night against the Chargers. Like I said, here's my prediction. Ravens will win 31-17. And here's why I feel like the Ravens will win. Because, number one, when it comes to primetime games, the Ravens are 42-33. And on Sunday nights, we are 16-13. So let's let that sink in for a little bit. Let that sink in. We are a winning percentage when it's time for the big lights to come on. We already showed you last Thursday that the Ravens are a totally complete team when the lights cut on. When it's time to play on the big stage, primetime games. The Ravens are that team, you feel me? So we are 8-6 against the Chargers. We already know the last time we beat the Chargers. The last time we played the Chargers, we beat the Chargers. We gave them a nice ass whooping. So as long as that's, we can keep on living on to that trend and keep up to that trend right there, I can see 9-6 coming our way against the Chargers. Another thing to think about for the Chargers, and I feel like that we have a chance to win. The Chargers allowed 24 points a game. And here our Ravens average 28 points a game. So as long as if they giving out that average of 24 points a game and we are averaging out 28 points a game, they already giving us a 4-point chance already. So all we gotta do is just go ahead and slap number 4, in which I believe that it is possible because the way my guy keep finding the end zone and Gus Edwards, it shows you that he can find the end zone no matter where he is on the field. Most definitely when it comes to the goal line situations, he finds the end zone. But I feel like Gus Edwards, when he's on, he's on. And then, like you said, like I was telling y'all, another thing is that the Ravens lead the NFL in sacks for 44. Putting pressure on Herbert is a must. It's the thing that the Ravens is all automatically doing on a regular game basis. It's putting quarterbacks in a lot of situations that they don't want to be in. So with us leading the league in sacks and keep going, and I feel like that we're going to lead this whole rest of the season in sacks because, like I said, our defensive line, nobody's really fucking with us. Nobody. You got my guy Justin Ametabike who's leading the team in 9.5 sacks. Then you got Van Noy. Then you got Davion Clowney. It's like, woo. Then you got Patrick Queen coming off in that inside linebacker who's also placed 4th on our team when it comes to sacks. So we got a handful of people on that defensive side that you got to watch out for. Our switch army knife and Kyle Hamilton. The guy can play anything and everywhere on that defensive side. He can play deep coverage in the safety. He can play inside the box. He can blitz. He can tackle. He can play the tight end. It's like Kyle Hamilton can do everything. So as long as you have that Swiss Army knife on that defensive side, man, it seems like things are going in our favor. And last but not least, and I hate to say this, but like I said, the fun fact about Mark Andrews. When Mark Andrews is not in the lineup, the Ravens are 3-0. And like I said, that's not a stat to like kind of gloat on or anything because we need Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is the big key point in our offense. Mark Andrews is the reason why that some of our players get open because people goes to the first choice of Mark Andrews. So it's like I said, don't get me wrong, Mark Andrews will be missed, but at the same time, when he's not in the lineup, we are undefeated. So that gives us a little hope, it gives us a little sense of like relief to say that the fact that when Mark Andrews is not in the game, it's fine. Our offense still can thrive. Our offense can still move the ball. We can still throw up points. The chemistry just going to have to come from somewhere else. And it's not going to just take one man. I feel like the Ravens are going to have to most definitely put in multiple guys that put up big efforts to actually fill in Mark Andrews' shoes. You feel me? So that's what I most definitely feel that is in our favor is those list of things right there when I say that we will throw up 31 points against the Chargers. It's safe to say that we have a good record against the Chargers. It's safe to say that we have a good record in primetime games and on Sunday nights. It's safe to say that the Chargers is willing to give up 24 points. It's safe to say that our defense is leading the league in sacks. And it's most definitely safe to say right now that we are undefeated without Mark Andrews. So, you know what I mean? Let's just keep that going through our head a little bit and just remember that it's the key thing is consistency. As long as we are consistent of getting pressure on the quarterback, as long as we are consistent of being undefeated without Mark Andrews, as long as we are consistent of keep beating the Chargers when the Chargers is our opponent, as long as we are consistent, as long as we put on primetime games, we will get more primetime games because the Ravens average 3 primetime games a year. So consistency is the key to success right now for us. You know what I mean? For our quarterback. I got a couple of comments right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get to them real quick. Let's see what we got here. My guy Patrick, man, what it is, my guy. Should be a good game. Chargers will do Chargers things. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, we have seen that the Chargers gave up a lot of games this year. Patrick Herbert missing passes that Justin Herbert, I'm sorry. It's missing passes that he normally don't miss. You feel me? He's normally good on the deep balls. He's normally getting fit passes in tight windows and stuff like that. But this year, the Chargers is most definitely doing an opposite from what they normally do, man. So, like I said, it would be a good game as long as the Ravens offense do not go stale, do not stall, do not go in neutral, man. If the Ravens can most definitely stay out of neutral and keep their pedal to the metal, keep the gas down, we should be able to get what we can get out of this game, man. Ravens 76B more. Salute Baltimore. Yes, sir. 410 always, baby. Let's see what else Ravens 76B more put. He said, since Keaton Mitchell is explosive and can take it to the house any given play, do you think JK is gone next season? Ooh, that is the most definitely great question. And I would hate to say this, but when JK went down this year, when he went down, I felt like that was the end of his ropes with the Ravens, man. I really do, because simple fact that number one, that any running back that we plug into our system kind of thrives in our system. You know what I mean? Except for Le'Veon Bell. You know what I mean? Except for Le'Veon Bell. But if you look at when he brought in Willis McGahee, he thrived in our system, became a consistent 1,000-yard back. LeRon McClain became that powerhouse running back. Alex Collins, rest in peace to Alex Collins, man. He was consistency, a good running back. Justin Forsett, when he got plugged in, he was able to fit in. So, you know what I mean? It's like multiple running backs can fit into our system. So to get to my point is that once JK went down, man, I just kind of felt like that was the end for him as a Raven, man. I would love to have him back to try to prove himself otherwise. But like you just said, Keaton Mitchell shows that he's explosive. Fresh young legs also. And then, you know, keep the fact that Gus Edwards has been sniffing the end zone, has been finding the end zone a lot. And he's leading us in rushing this year with over 500 yards of rushing. So I think I would love to have J.K. Dobbins back, but I really feel like that it will be a lot for him to be back in that black and purple. You know what I mean? So And then, you know what I mean, if Gus Edwards wound up hitting 1,000 yards, because remember, he's on the 1-year contract. He took a pay cut just to come back with us this year. I believe that, you know, Gus Edwards will be front line of getting get re-signed first. And like you just said, that, you know, they will re-sign Gus and will be Keaton Mitchell and the Gus show next year. I really do think so too, my guy. It's like I said, it's going to be very, very challenging for J.K. Dobbins to come back off of 2 major injuries in back-to-back years. You know, ACL and then Achilles. It's going to be tough for a running back. You know what I mean? And then, last but not least, you see that it's very hard for running backs to even get big contracts. So even if he do try to make a comeback, do he play for like a significant less amount of money? So, you know what I mean? That's just something for JK to most definitely think about. Appreciate the questions, man. Keep the questions rolling, you feel me? But no, now let's take it to the keys of how I feel like where the Ravens can most definitely win. And we're going to start off on the offense side of the ball. On that offensive side of the ball, here's some of the keys I would like to give right here. First and foremost is get Zay Flowers and Keaton Mitchell involved in this offense. Now that Mark Andrews is not available, the big guy, the big threat, you got to find a way to get your speedy guys, your weapons, the guys that can be explosive in one play. You got to find a way to get them the ball. You got to find a way to open up things for like an OBJ and Isaiah Likely. Now, I understand people was probably like, well, damn, why are we not trying to get Isaiah Likely involved? Because I think it's going to take some time for Isaiah Likely to build that chemistry with Lamar. He got a little bit of chemistry, but it's not that Mark Andrews chemistry. So what I feel like is if you can get big play Zay, because he's known for making big plays. If we can get big play Zay to involve him in the offense, whether it's pop passes, whether it's motioning him a lot, whether it's giving him fake handoffs and stuff like that. Some way, somehow, we got to get him involved and put the eyes really on him to open up things for everybody else. You know what I mean? Somebody has to take control of this offense. It can't just be LJ out here playing backyard football and hoping that that's going to win us the game. Because like I already alluded to, the Chargers defense is not bad. You know what I mean? So it's just the little things that is really going to take for us to win this game. And I think that's starting off with getting Zay Flowers involved and then Keaton Mitchell. We've seen that Keaton Mitchell, like my guy just said in the comments, very explosive. He can be a home run hitter in one play also. So I feel like if you can get these guys involved and moving, this offense is very going to be hard to dictate in what we are going to do. And I think then once you get these guys involved, whether they make big plays or nothing like that, but if you make the defense start keying in on these two players, OBJ can have another 100-yard reception. Isaiah Likely can carry that tight end position down the field. Gus Edwards can most definitely hit into the red zone. Because like I said, once we get to the red zone, you keep feeding Gus. End zone. Touchdown. You feel me? So it's just like you gotta get our key players involved. Todd Monken and Jordan Harbaugh. Get our key young guys involved early. Another thing that I want us to do is take advantage of the opportunities. And what I mean by that is for the simple fact that I feel like our defense and the way how the Chargers has been playing this year, our offense is going to have a lot of opportunities. And if we can take care and take control of those opportunities, good things will come. We were able to put up points. We were able to let put the Chargers offense wanting to be able to get on the field because they keep doing 3 and outs. They keep punting our offense. And you already know once Lamar get a certain amount of opportunities, he's going to go golden. You know what I mean? But also in those opportunities, we got to take care of those opportunities, which means turnovers can happen in those opportunities. Can't have these costly fumbles that we normally have. Lamar, you can't go out here and start throwing these wild interceptions Because once you start throwing these wild interceptions, we already see how just like how the Cleveland Browns took over that game, that things can happen and go wrong in the wrong way for the Ravens. So we most definitely gotta take care of these opportunities by not having so many turnovers. Less turnovers and more scoring, the more opportunities good opportunities will come. And which means it goes down to our third key for me. It's control the clock. You got to be able to keep that Chargers offense on the sideline so those explosive plays won't try to happen. So they won't get down the field, you know what I mean, and keep themselves in the game. And for the most things that the Ravens like to do at times is give other teams momentum. As long as we can control the clock, if we can have those plays, those drives that it can be 13 plays, 6 minutes, 7-minute drives. Whew. You controlled the clock. You just ate majority of the clock right there in the 15-minute quarter. So as long as we can control that and keep pace, our offenses will be able to do what our offense been doing all year, putting up multiple scores. You feel me? So our offense most definitely needs to get Zay and Keaton Mitchell involved in this offense, take advantage of opportunities, and control the clock. I feel like if you can do those three things, our offense won't go stale, won't be going to neutral. We'll be able to put up multiple points, and the Chargers won't have no answer. So, you know what I mean? Tell me what y'all think in the comments. And I got a couple of comments. Let's get to it right now. My guy, Raven76B Moore. I have to say, this team is equipped to win a Super Bowl. What worries me the most is that John Harbaugh and situation coaching. Yes. Now, don't get me wrong. At times, I feel like John Harbaugh do put a lot of trust in analytics. And sometimes I feel like analytics is it's not always the best answer. Sometimes you got to go with your gut feeling. Sometimes you got to take what's given to you. You feel me? And I feel like that sometimes that he gets a little greedy when it comes to him, when it comes to points, whether it's 3 points or is it going to be 7 points. So I can agree with you on that one. Is that Coach Harbaugh gotta be mindful that you can't leave points on the field. We shouldn't leave points on the field. If we leave points on the field, that's not take advantage of the opportunities that our defense was giving us. So I feel like you're right on this. We equipped to win the Super Bowl, but it's most definitely going to have to take that a little bit better coaching. But so far, John Harbaugh hasn't really been getting in his own way so far this year. You know, a couple of times this year, but it's not majority of the times like how us Ravens fans normally got to go through. My guy Patrick is here again when he said the Chargers will play with sense of urgency. If it gets tight mid-fourth quarter, that's where they start making their mistakes. And I can agree with you on that one. I can most definitely agree with you on that one. And then that's one thing that the Ravens offense kind of seemed to, when I say go stale on, is that fourth quarter, sometimes we are not able to score. We can score 1 through 3 quarters, but when it gets to that fourth quarter, most definitely our offense go neutral and stale, and it leaves teams opportunities to actually win games. But sometimes throughout the season, the Chargers also shoot themselves in the foot also too. So, you know, as long as the Chargers keep on getting in their way also, we ain't got really nothing to worry about. Let's switch it over to that defensive side, that top 5. I don't care what nobody say. We are a top 5 defense, and I think that tomorrow night we will show it. And here's one of the things I would most definitely like to see our Ravens defense to do is shore up that run defense. Oh my goodness, yo. If y'all been paying attention to the last couple of games, man, with Kareem Hunt and Joe Mixon has been really showing up that middle of our run defense, man. They've been busting off 4 to 5 yard runs. And then, that 45-yard runs, you keep steadily, consistently getting that, you're going to get that first down. You're going to wear out that defensive line, and that offensive line would occasionally win. So one thing I would like to see our defense to do is, number one, to show up that run defense. And we got to make sure that this offensive line do not reach the second level. It does not touch our linebackers. Their offensive line should not be touching Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen, Malik Harrison, or anybody that's playing that linebacker position. If we could control that line of scrimmage to where their offensive line is not reaching our second level, man, we can stop the run. Because, like I said, Austin Ekeler is not no slouch. He's a powerful guy. He got powerful legs. His lower body is very strong. So it ain't going to be just no arm tackling that's going to take this guy down. You got to put the pads on him. You got to make sure that you lay the lumber on this guy. It can't just be no, I'm going to reach my arm out and he's going to fall. No. If you do that, man, Austin Ekeler can most definitely take it to the house. I'm not saying he's a home run hit on one play, but the guy he's powerful. He's just not no easy back to go ahead and take down. So that's one thing the Ravens defense got to do is show up that run defense. I feel like if our run defense is able to show up tomorrow and make Justin Herbert throw more times than they can run, rest in peace for success for the Ravens defense. Another thing I would like for us to do is we need to put pressure on Herbert. And I feel like that we are going to put pressure on Herbert for the simple fact that, like I told you in the beginning of the show, we are number one in the NFL when it comes to leading the sacks. Them 44s need to go up. So I'm calling out Jadeveon Clown. I'm calling out Van Noy. I'm calling out Justin Madubuike, who I feel like is going to get a big contract, especially once he get to double-digit sacks. Because he's only a half sack away of getting double digits. So I feel like that as long as we are leading the league in sacks, our defensive line and our linebackers most definitely need to put pressure on Herbert, make him unhappy, make him throw throws that he don't want to throw, make him uncomfortable, make him roll out in the pocket, make him not see his targets. That's what it's going to take to beat Justin Herbert, in my opinion. You feel me? And then, like I said, on the third thing on our keys is create opportunities for the offense. We have to, which means create turnovers, force 3-and-outs. But I would like for us to force turnovers, honestly. I would like to see Geno Stone get back into the lead, leading the league in interceptions. Because right now he's tied with a Cowboy right now. What's his name? DeVon Bland, I believe that's his name. So I need to see more interceptions, turnovers coming from Geno. I need to see forced fumbles coming from Kyle Van Noy and Jadeveon Clown and Justin Madubuike, whoever is blitzing. We need to create opportunities for our offense. The more we take opportunities away from the Chargers and give it to our offense, we can win. Now, like I said, man, the Chargers will throw up points. They will. But make sure that when they do throw up points, it's meaningless. Just like how we did Jamar Chase last week by him having 2 catches for 12 yards for 1 touchdown. But that 1 touchdown was meaningless because it came late in the game. That's how our defense most definitely going to have to show up on against Keenan Allen and Quentin Williams. Make it meaningless. Like I said, these guys have capability of creating big plays and stuff like that. Justin Herbert can throw any throw, but we got to create them opportunities. You feel me? So that's what I want to see from our defense this week is show up that run defense, put pressure on Herbert, and create opportunities for our offense. You feel me? And I think that this will be success, a recipe for success. And I do believe that this will get us to being that claiming that number 1 spot of that AFC, trying to get that bye week. If we can get that bye week and get that rust up week, it wouldn't even matter because we got our bye week next week. You know what I mean? So if we waited this long to have our bye week, I feel like, that bye week, the playoffs, it's really is a good thing, but really not a good thing. Keep that momentum going, you feel me? So I really feel like the Ravens will win tomorrow. 31-17. That was my prediction because, like I said, number 1, The Ravens is consistently throw up 30-something points a game. Number 2, I feel like the Chargers shoot themselves in their foot. They get in their own way. And 3rd, we are a better team than the Chargers. You feel me? So before I wrap this up, I got another comment. I see my guy Patrick says that the Ravens defense needs to go after the Chargers right tackle. A strong defensive game plan to disguise your coverage. Herbert will throw costly interceptions. And I agree with you. But thanks for that tip, my guy. Let's go after this daggone right tackle. And you know what I mean? That's normally where Jadeveon Clowney plays up on that side anyway. So as long as I feel like Clowney and Van Noy can beat up that right tackle, we can do it. I feel like that that can happen. My guy from New York, what it is, my guy. He came out and says that the Herbert has not beaten Lamar yet. Yes, sir. That's a good fun fact for us too. So Justin Herbert, you have not beaten Lamar. So there you have it, man. We are undefeated. Lamar is undefeated against Justin Herbert. We are undefeated when we don't have Mark Andrews in the lineup. We have a good record when it comes to primetime games. We have a good record when it comes to Sunday night games. We have a good record against the Chargers. There you have it right there. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. And as always, please, if you haven't already, please go subscribe to the Grid Network. I guarantee you that this is the dopest network, yo. You tired of having that same old word from word verbatim. You tired of hearing the same people talk about the same stuff over and over, yo. That'd be different. Come to the Grid Network. I guarantee you, with all of our content creators that we have, it's always different opinions. You feel me? You got Carving It Up with Bryson. You got All Even Podcasts. You got Clutch Sports Talk. You have Outside the Cage for my MMA fighters. We have Raiders Roundup Podcast. You have my very own MTMO Sports Podcast. And we have dope writers. I'm trying to tell y'all, if y'all don't want to see the visual, you want to see more writing, come to the Grid Network. Because my guy Patrick, and we got other guys too, but I can tell you right now, my guy Patrick, who's been in my comments, be writing dope pieces. I'm talking about dope pieces. You know what I mean? So if you're looking for that good reading content, follow the Grid Network. Look up my guy Patrick. I'm trying to tell y'all, real dope. So, like I said, yo, that'd be different, man. Enter the Grid, you feel me? And not only that, we got good content creators, yo. We have a shop also where you can get our clothing, where you can get hats, you can get t-shirts, you can get sweatshirts, you can get whatever it is that you're looking to purchase. You feel me? Just make sure you go ahead to our spread shop, man, and shop till you drop. You feel me? I guarantee you, yo, it's good quality product. It's good quality things on there. And it's nothing more for me to say about that. So, like I said, man, my guy Patrick went on here and gave his prediction. He feel like the Ravens got this 31-28 off of Justin Tucker walk-off field goal. We shall see. We shall see. So, as always, man, I see y'all for the post-game show on Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you feel me? And as always, yo, big trust, because why trust anything else? I holla at y'all.